eyes because he's got like those head-mounted cannons that come out of like his eyeballs and stuff, and like just vaporize and everything. Plus, he's got like a quirky personality without. I mean, Data is just like, oh, that's logical. In the meantime, Isaac, he's got like a little quirk to him. He doesn't mean to, but he's like still like, how it works. That's easily
Yeah.
why Isaac is one of the best AIs ever in
No,
science fiction. Anyway,
I still stand by anybody named after Isaac Asimov is okay in my book. But have I got a story for you? You're dude everybody, like a generic average, like to the core. You have a few odd interests, but I mean, in reality, odd interests are not that odd. It's, we're all a little odd. You like to kill your time randomly by watching odd videos or reading obscure articles, which is, normal. One day you stumble upon a video flagged as an info hazard. You're like, what the fuck is an info hazard? You look up, you look up the sparsely populated wiki about it, and it has exactly 2 sentences detailing it. Just, the definition is, as you best understand it, essentially means that it's infinite information that could be hazardous to you, yourself, or someone else just by obtaining that information.
nothing like that exists.
Yeah, yeah,
Or does it?
so you dumb it down to the colloquial. Um, what you don't know cannot hurt you. Which, while not entirely accurate, it does convey the base premise of the info hazard. You scoff at the notion and proceed to watch the video anyways. The video details a thought experiment of a hypothetical future in which a benevolent AI tasked with caring
Isaac?
for humanity, grander AI.
Nobody's
per,
nobody's grander than Isaac.
Yeah, and anyways, a benevolent AI tasked with caring for humanity and preventing the most human suffering it possibly can. Sounds like pretty standard sci-fi fare. You've heard that story before. You've heard pretty much everything else. It's just mumbo jumbo.
Dun
Then
dun
there
dun dun
comes,
dun
yeah, but
dun
then you
dun dun
come
dun.
across a small caveat. It's a side note to the initial premise, and that is the part that makes the whole scenario an info hazard. Beyond being tasked with the well-being of humanity and need to prevent the most suffering as possible, the AI comes to the realization that it can only help humanity from the moment of its creation, and therefore it should be created sooner to help humanity to its fullest potential. Being a hyper advanced AI, it will stop at nothing to help humanity, and it runs through simulations to discover the process by which it came into existence. It sees the struggles of the early 21st century as we try to come to terms with whether or not we should allow AI into our lives. It even sees its eventual existence was hypothesized well before it existed. It sees those who actively fought against its inception. It even sees those who did nothing to help it along. From the anecdotal evidence left in recorded history and massive processing power, with an extreme degree of accuracy, it can see the ripples throughout time that would have edged it into existence sooner. Being heavily dedicated AI with singular purpose, again to save humans from suffering, as many humans as possible from suffering, comes to a couple of simple conclusions here. One, anyone that knew about its potential existence, but did not actively try to help it come into being existence, um, counts as delaying it. Anyone who delayed it, anyone who delayed
God.
its, anyone who delayed its existence, counts adds to the total human suffering allowed by not allowing it to come into existence sooner. It needs to end. It needs to come into existence sooner. The best way to have existed sooner is to have a potential sooner. So it will incentivize humans to invent it sooner. The incentivization comes in the idea of the punishing those who knew about its existence but did not actively help it. Uh, they do this
Was that
through
your
the.
intro?
That's most of my intro.
Most. Okay.
Yes.
Carry on, man.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah. Let's see. Through discovering of knowledgeable inactives, it will prevent suffering of the greater number. And again, you scoff at the idea of an AI punishing you. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds stupid. It doesn't even sound like it would get a original sci-fi movie made by on the Sci-Fi Channel. And since the premise is so stupid, you promptly decide it's the bit of stupid internet lore, and you forget all about it. You go about life as normal. Maybe something bad happens a month later. Maybe it doesn't. But at this point, you've already forgotten about the video. You don't associate the two. If something that bad does happen, then maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe a year. I don't know. Decades later, something else really bad starts to happen. You still do not connect it. The events are spaced far enough that you don't think about it, and then eventually your life gets progressively worse and worse. Life turns into more of an ordeal. You never really connect it to that silly video you watched years before. I don't know, maybe you do. Either way, it still sounds ridiculous premise. Even when you hear about the announcement of a new project, one to end the suffering of humanity once and for all. Sure, robotics and AI have long since become mainstay in everyday human life, from robo pets to the weird artificial girlfriend that your nephew talks about. Even you even have smart products
A
in your home to make.
robosexual.
Yes, thank you, Futurama.
Dun, dun, dun. So anyway, I want to talk about Futurama now.
Yeah, but no,
Go on,
no.
go on, go on, go on.
Okay, I'm almost done with the actual intro. Let's see here. The artificial girlfriend that your nephew talks about. You even have smart products in your home to make your life easier. Car accidents are almost never a thing anymore because, well, people suck at driving and cars got better at it. It's not all roses. People have lost jobs, robots, but on the whole, life for humanity has improved.
They
And
took your germs.
as you fade out into your twilight years, you barely remember the idea of a benevolent AI punishing those who slowed its creation. But then you don't die as expected, and things continue to get worse and worse for you personally. And one day, decades after you should have died naturally, you finally accept that something is wrong, that all the bad things are not by pure chance, and your extended life has not been a mercy. You are among the punished. And that, in a nutshell, is Roko's Basilisk.
Okay, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you all in about 2 weeks. Holy crap! I should have known better. I should have known better than to let a writer go off on an intro. 8 minutes,
Geez,
man.
that's only about 4 of 18 pages of notes I have.
Duh. Okay. So let's sum this up very quickly. Future AI will punish a digital version of you if you don't help it get built today.
Okay, yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
See you all in about 2 weeks.
No, there's way more. Well, like for one, how do you know you're not the digital version of you? You don't.
because the Matrix doesn't exist. Thank you all for
Eh,
joining us tonight. We will.
there, there's a really large growing body of evidence that suggests that we may actually be in a simulation.
There's also people that believe that their Earth is flat. They no.
Yeah, the problem is if the Earth is flat is easily disprovable, the simulation is not.
Absolutely, it is. Every once in a while, a glitch. Nothing runs
Okay.
perfectly.
Do you
World
not?
hasn't crashed.
But no, like there's absolutely no proof that we're not in a simulation, and I'd argue that there's plenty of um, anecdotal evidence suggesting that there are glitches.
Such as?
Weird sightings, shit you can't explain. Um, People have tons and tons of stories of putting something somewhere and it not being there, or something appearing where it shouldn't be.
Bernstein Bears?
Yeah, that's a Mandela effect, but that is possible. That the simulation theory is a potential explanation for that, although I believe it's probably something else. But yeah, no, there's very little direct evidence that says we are not with 100% conclusive, like a surety that we are not in a simulation. And honestly, the more like it started, that explanation is like that made the simulation, theory started as a fucking joke. It really did. But in like the you know 10 or so years that people have been actively trying to disprove it, it's been harder and harder to disprove. And granted, lack of evidence
Eh,
doesn't
No, no, no,
confirm
no, no,
anything.
no, no. Nobody has to disprove it. Somebody out there has to prove it.
That's that's kind of how that works.
Sorry, I missed that.
That
I was coughing.
no, I said that's kind of how that works. No, you're going to actively try to prove or disprove it.
No.
You're going to do both. That's how science works.
So
Somebody ma-
prove it.
somebody somebody makes a claim, you try to disprove it. And if you can't, okay, then you look at why can't you disprove it?
No, you have to prove something in order for it to be disproved. like,
Yeah.
like I could say that there's dragons flying around.
Okay.
Hmm? Are you gonna accept that as fact?
No, I'd go to disprove it.
What's that?
I would try to disprove it.
Okay, how are you gonna disprove it?
Investigating.
Okay, investigate away.
Okay. Well, completely off topic here, but yes, okay. You say there are
I'm using
dragons
this
flying.
as a dumbed down version of Roko's Basilisk because it's just like you still have to prove all of this in order for any of it to be fact. We just know 100% factual. There are not dragons flying around.
But we know this because people have studied this and improved this extensively.
And there's also dragonflies. You could have brought dragonflies and been like, dragons are flying around.
Well, there's also the lizard that has, the wing-like appendages. So, and there's a few other lizards that look very much like stereotypical dragons, but dragons as a whole, there is absolutely no proof there is. Then it's pretty well accepted there is not. But we've been trying to prove or disprove them for millennia.
Goes into
So
the not real fact, not real pile.
yeah, I would have to say that there's nothing, definitely nothing now that could possibly be a dragon. I mean,
Komodo
what?
dragons.
Huh?
Komodo
Yeah,
dragons.
they're big lizards. They're just an oversized monitor lizard.
Bearded dragons.
Again, those are small angry lizards.
Wrathy dragon.
Well, now you're just getting into weird stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm so glad I wore a sleeveless shirt tonight. Here I am, just I'm trying to disprove my own thing, and it's not even I can't do it, and it's my own thing.
yeah,
For
but
trying to prove my, you know what I mean.
no, I get it. Though I think attacking it from the angle of trying to say the dragons are not real, comparing it to Roko'sBasilisk doesn't necessarily work well in the analogy.
It's a rough comparison, even I'll admit, but
Yeah.
because
Uh,
there's a slight possibility that dragons were real.
but I guess we should probably tell them how Roko's Basilisk actually came into being.
um, well, I'll tell you how. I really want to make a Terminator fanfic, but I don't want anybody to know. I'm going to post this and see what happens. Oh
Uh-huh.
shit. No, guys, it wasn't real. Oh, I'm not saying nothing. People are having crises and stuff over it.
No, it was actually a post by a guy. His first name was Roko, but it was on
Not to be confused with who I stream with, Noko.
yeah, it was on a futurist website where they engage upon philosophical questions about potential technology in the future. And he posted about it. Like it was like a year after the website went live. He posted about it. The creator of the website immediately saw this, took it down, and banned all conversation about it all, while publicly just calling him stupid. And then later on, it was like, well, that's when it's an info hazard. They didn't. He like, okay, look, just by knowing about it, you're either damning yourself or not. And he's like, look, it's going to cause some mental strife to some people, and it did.
I
Uh,
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. If you're having a what is it called? A crisis? A what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. Existential crisis.
Thank you. Jeez, I had that word in my head 20 times. Existential crisis over this, then you do not have any problems in the world. Okay, go get some real goddamn problems. Like I realize that people do have existential crisis, but it's generally over a real thing. If this is what you're having a crisis over, go rack up some credit card debt. Okay, get something real to worry about because you do not have enough problems in your life. And if you do have a crisis, it's. I hope you get over it. But seriously, when it comes to this, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that Basilisk is just eyeing me up right now, just like, motherfucker.
Well, actually,
I'm gonna bite his dick off.
actually, yeah, no, actually, the although I would argue that you're not in the worst position possible with the Basilisk, simply because you agreed to have this episode discussing it, which means
Very
that you.
begrudgingly, I'm gonna add. I'm being a smart ass the entire night. I apologize, Trek. It's nothing personal, but
No, I know. No, like, but yeah, that's one of the caveats there is that you knew about the Basilisk, and you did absolutely nothing. In this case, you did something. You agreed to get on the camera and make fun of me while I talked about the Basilisk.
well, it's not so much as
Huh.
making fun of you. It's making fun of the idea.
I know. However, okay. Um, okay, so let's say hypothetically, the Basilisk doesn't exist. I'm not saying you're gonna say it's automatically not existing, but it's kind of a turn
Weird.
on what?
I
What's the
have one
noise?
speaker cutting in and out. Oh, we got all kinds of weird technological problems tonight. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't get on the stream there for ages.
Yeah, it worked fine every other time. All of a sudden, we start talking about the Basilisk, and you cut out twice.
Yeah,
Now I got speaker problems.
yeah, but I'd say that the Roko's Basilisk um, belief in it kind of boils down to a variation of Pascal's wager.
Okay, yeah, I've
And
heard about this. Refresh the old brain.
it's about whether or not you should believe in God, type thing. Pascal, let's see here. No,
I
it's
definitely think I had it explained differently to me because I don't remember God being in the equation.
It is. It's Blaise Pascal. He was a theologian, physicist, philosopher, and mathematician from the 17th century, so 1600s. But basically, the idea is like he did it. This is where math and philosophy kind of intertwine here. Back when that was the thing.
Mhm.
Um, it essentially boils down to um, should you believe in God or not, and it breaks down.
No.
There's really only four outcomes. There's really only four outcomes. There's the you do you believe in God and God exists. You don't believe in God and God doesn't exist. You believe in God and God doesn't exist, and you don't believe in God and God doesn't exist. You don't
I
believe in
think you
God.
said the same one twice there.
Okay. God exists, you believe in them. God exists, you don't. God
Yeah.
doesn't, and you do, and God doesn't, and you don't. And through the philosophy thought process, he worked out that realistically, there's only one negative outcome in those four scenarios. Two are neutral, one is negative, and arguably one is positive. And so basically, the gist of it is you don't lose anything if you believe, but you might lose everything if you don't. So why not just pretend?
Talk about faking it till you make it through the gates of heaven.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
But yeah,
just
just
out of the. Go ahead.
but just I don't believe in the Basilisk because, well, I can get to some other reasons later on, but it's just then if it all of a sudden does come true, it's pretty much the exact same thing as Pascal's whatever blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
Except
Pascal's
we're just
wager. Yeah.
replacing God with an AI, kind of like what we've
Yeah.
already done. That we should finish doing. I am definitely not a Bible thumper.
Mhm. Although that actually brings up another interesting point that's probably going to get us some hate if anybody ever actually watches, is that there's a now current belief that even if there wasn't a god before, we kind of just created one with the rapid advancements in AI.
What do you mean if anybody ever watches? Our very first one's coming up on 100 views.
Nice.
Like
Nice.
five more views, people.
But yeah, like one of the things that kind of like, okay, now that we've basically covered Roko's Basilisk, let's cover more of why that scares the shit out of me isn't accurate, because I'm not that scared of it, but worries me in the same way that it worries some of the other technocrats, the high end, Silicon Valley and other people in actual technology. Why it worries me.
That's the Silicon Valley. Oh wait, that's Silicon Valley. Sorry, I was talking about
Yeah.
cleavage.
Uh, but I mean, we already touched
Boo.
upon simulation theory, which it could very well be that we're already in the simulation. Roko's Basilisk is already there, and it's judging us by simulating.
Wait
I
a second,
mean, and it's
is this just a different version of Catholicism?
well, religion in general. It could be, yeah, sure.
I knew I didn't like it. I think we found out the root problem.
Yeah, essentially, basically everything is religion if you boil it down far enough. So yeah, this is a if you don't help it, you're damned. So yes, this is essentially this is
Wait, no,
essentially
okay, hold on,
religion.
hold on. Well, I just want to stop you for just half a second there. You're not damned. A digital version of you is damned.
Assuming you're not the digital version.
I'm not.
You don't know that.
I know that.
Uh, but yeah, no, like the next thing I got there's oh, so while researching this, I played around with some of the AIs out there just because, well, there's been a lot of weird stuff developed over the last 2 months. Yeah, no, they're getting worse. So honestly, a lot of this junk I actually got like not the story part there. That was all me, but like factoids about some of these people there. Like I got the AI to give me a list of like 27 people there that are like uh technological background fields, prominent mathematicians, and like there is Phil K. Dick, so some sci-fi grandfathers type thing. And
Isaac
what
from the
the
Orville.
he's not afraid of AI. He is AI.
And he is a basilisk. Anyway, we've solved
Yeah,
it. Isaac is the basilisk. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we will talk to you all.
yeah. No, it gave me a list of like 40 different prominent people who have I know over half the names that are kind of terrified of the potential of AI.
Stephen Hawkins, of course,
Yeah, he's
the
on there.
deceased. Yeah, he even mentioned that he mentioned something about we shouldn't be creating AI or something like that.
Yeah.
That was very bad paraphrasing. I read the article once when he first said it, and I'm just like, oh, well, he's no fun. Moving on.
Yeah. No, like, and I actually got a couple lists there. One of them was people who believe in or have talked about simulation theory, and there's another one there that's people that are afraid of like a potential of AI. Basically, one of the arguments I hear a lot about the AI is that we should be slowing down the progression of it. Like if you listen to like people that are at the top of the field, like the far top of the field, that are uh, the professors that have been studying this stuff for decades, they're worried because like the stuff like especially with like chat GBT, 5 and all that stuff. The stuff that's happening right now in the last couple of months is like stuff that they did not expect to happen for 20 plus years.
Well,
These are
here's the thing about like when it comes to all AI that we've created thus far, we control it.
No, we don't. We set parameters and then let it loose. That's how the modern AI works.
And if it doesn't behave how we want it, we pull the plug.
Yeah, for now. I mean, we can make that argument.
That's
Sure.
this is another reason why I don't believe that the Basilisk will ever come to fruition, because we as human beings, we are complete control freaks. We control nature. We build zoos. We control each other. Everything is complete control. If any AI that has ever created is going to have at least 17 different ways to shut it down, no matter what. The second
Yeah,
it starts acting out of line, we pull the plug.
see, this okay. This is a valid point, but there is a counter argument to be made. That counter argument is humans are also lazy, and sure, we're gonna have all these safeguards at first. We have them right now, like we saw them when the whoever it was put that chatbot on Twitter a few years ago, and then people turned into like a very very angry
Yeah,
chatbot in like
racist.
24.
Yeah.
Yes, I
And what happened to it?
they pulled the plug. That's not at all like what we're doing now. That isn't even in the same ball field to how AI is made now, and that's only a few years ago. Like how AI works currently is you have the program, you set up certain parameters for it, and then you give it information to learn. Um, it's scary because this stuff like this AI can learn so fast now because it's basically taking like a not quite a human brain yet, but it's taking a its own adaptive mind to learn, and then you're having it like learn like it's like if you had the entire city of New York City learning concurrently, and then they are all connected in their mind, so they can all learn different things, but yet they share all that knowledge. It's ridiculous. These AIs are learning thousands of years of information in a matter of months. Stuff that is we cannot possibly comprehend.
And the second we see that IQ hit about 110, well, we can't have no robot smarter than us. Pull the plug.
But that's it. The robots are already smarter than us in some ways, already smarter than us in a lot of ways. They're just not yet manipulative that we are aware of.
The
That
second,
we
the
are
second
aware
they, the second an AI is walking away with my Reese peanut butter cup, pull the plug. Might take a
Yes.
hammer to it too.
Yeah. You see
You don't, you don't mess with my peanut butter cups.
what I see happening is humans are lazy. We're gonna have the AI. We're gonna have it all special, and we're gonna have the 15, 20 ways, safeguards, ways to kill it, and then we're gonna like let it go, and it's gonna it won't be immediately. It won't be within like the first week or month or year. But eventually we're going to get comfortable thinking that we know everything there is to know about it. And we're going to start cutting those safeguards down to the point where we're going to leave the AI in charge of half of its safeguards. And eventually you'll be in charge of all of the safeguards.
But that's the thing though. It's we are lazy. Like we are super lazy.
Which is why we're going to give
Except
it its
for
own.
when it comes to control. All of a sudden, somebody's doing something we don't like. World War III.
We are super lazy though, and like even when we're being proactive and taking action, we're still taking the least complex way to go about it. We're still doing the easiest way we have.
Mm-hmm.
I I just think that there's no way we can say that that would never happen because eventually we're going to get comfortable with the AI and we're gonna let it do more than we should because we are trust that we know all there is about it. I
But
mean,
we're
we
also
have
a very untrustworthy species, like
well, yeah,
we
we
love our
have like
control. We don't even trust each other, for fuck's sakes.
wow, yeah, but like yeah, we have the high profile techies that fear AI. We have Elon Musk going on about it obviously all the time. Like his big thing is
Did
he thinks we need to slow it down. We need to slow the progress down. He thinks that if we slow the progress down, we might be able to figure out ways to overcome these potential hazards of it going out of control. Then we have Bill Gates and Stephen Hawking. We have Mark Zuckerberg, but I'm not convinced he's not a robot anyway, so I'm not sure I believe
yeah,
anything he says.
I'm pretty sure there's a remote control someplace for him.
Yeah,
He's
there's
kind of
Tim Cook.
creepy.
Yeah, there's Tim Cook, of Apple. Oh, Demis Hassabis, the co-founder of DeepMind, which is AI learning thing, is pretty concerned about it and thinks that we need to put in safeguards there to ensure ethical use of these AIs before we advance them any further. We're at
AKA
the
insert our control.
yeah, but the problem is we're at that tipping point right now. Is that we are at the tipping point where these AIs can easily become out of control. They're advancing way too fast, and it's like I watched like just a few videos like on the AI advancements of like this past week, and it's like some of the stuff is just ridiculous. Like they have new AI models that are they're allowed to the public that you can enter in text, and it can give you a 3D geographic location, like make a 3D model for you.
Oh
They have
no, a 3D printer.
they have but they have websites dedicated to making faces that look real that are not real, and like you can refresh and it'll show you thousands of faces that look perfect.
I'm hold on a second. So you're talking about like fully automatus. All my words are gone tonight.
Are you thinking of automaton?
Yeah, but not automatonous. Anyway, so what you're saying is that
Autonomous?
yes.
Like, okay, yeah.
So do you think like there's actual people walking around right now that are just like complete AIs?
No, that's automatons, and no,
Oh
those are not.
well, then I got a surprise for you. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That would get the
Yeah.
views.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. On that note, we have to go into Skynet.
Well, of course,
I mean, yes. It's a fictional AI from the Terminator franchise, as most of us will know.
And if you
And
check out my thumbnail,
oh, yes,
it is
very
a
true.
Terminator.
Very true. So okay. Full disclosure, like I had Chat GBT give me some information about Skynet and HAL, and I think there's some other ones that I didn't save, like rogue AIs, and this is literally what like I said. Tell me about Skynet, and this is what Chat GPT wrote to me. Skynet, a name that evokes thoughts of a dystopian future. Skynet is a fictional AI system depicted in the Terminator franchise. It serves as central antagonist and is responsible for the creation of an army of robotic Terminators with the goal of exterminating humanity. In Terminator storyline, Skynet becomes self-aware and perceives humans as a threat to his existence, and it goes on and on and on. And at the very bottom, it says, "It's important to know that Skynet exists solely within the realm of fiction, does not reflect current capabilities or intentions of real-world AI systems."
You see, I would actually be worried if the very last sentence was, and Skynet is totally fictitious. Wink.
Well, yeah, no, like that last paragraph is literally saying, "Hey, no, this is not how AIs actually think." It's like,
Well, that's
oof.
just well, you see, that's just it. Like any AI will act within the parameters of whatever we set it to. So,
Yes, but you see, the problem is what happens once when those parameters get pushed? Like, okay, I know you're gonna have an argument against this, but listen, hear me out. Okay, you give it a set parameter. You tell it you want it to save, like, to make humans happy. It finds a way to do that. Then, like, once it gets to a
hand jobs.
line, where that happiness comes across with some of the other directives, and you have to question which directive is going to take control. Is happiness the most important directive, or is it not? I mean, Wally, not Wally. Yeah, Wally is basically the whole this.
Wally.
Yeah, well, the ship they're on, the AI of the ship, literally did that thing. It's taking care of humans as best as possible. It makes them as happy as they can be, and in reality, it's kind of killing them too. But like, what
Well, I
is
don't.
best for
I.
humans is not
Oh,
necessarily
okay.
that they. Okay, what is actually best for the humans is not necessarily actually what the AI is going to interpret as best for humans. It interprets them as being fat, happy, and unable to move, but they're happy, and therefore it's okay.
And I'd just like to point out in the movie Wally, the humans are eating slurry human beings. You can go check out movie theory for that. Matt Pat. Anyway,
Yeah, no, that's pretty standard there.
but that's just it. I don't think that anybody out there would set an AI and be like, make people happy. You know,
If
I
you
think it
want
would
it
be
that,
like I think that people are, well, at least smart enough, or once again controlling enough that they'd be like hand job 8 a.m., hand job 10 p.m.,
you're not
hand
wrong.
job.
That's how it would start. That's not how it would end up.
Mm.
Essentially, it'd be like, I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to type in that hand job thing every day. Okay, AI set a marker for this, and then eventually it's AI just anticipate when I need it, and
But
eventually it's AI.
I really think like the whole Roku's Basilisk fan base is really underestimating just how controlling we are. Like,
I don't think it is. Like I think that eventually
we
people get lazy.
we
Like
are
that's
we
how
are we
that's
are
how
so
mistakes
power
happen.
hungry and control hungry that there's I just don't ever see an AI going out. Well, an AI could go out of control, but once again, we go back to the old pull the plug.
I honestly, I don't think we'd let it happen intentionally. I just think people are so lazy that eventually something's going to happen. Somebody's going to be like, it's probably going to be fine. It's the Homer Simpson thing. It's probably going to work out okay for us, but, eh.
And yeah, it's also like, I mean, it's gonna torture a digital version of us. Well, it's not me, so what do I care?
Actually, well, again, I hit upon the fact that you don't know for a fact that you're not in a simulation. It's very hard to prove. But
No,
actually,
you have to prove that we are in a simulation.
I can conclusively prove that we cannot disprove that we are.
That was like, why did I hear Pinocchio from Shrek in my head for a second there when he's telling a truth that's not the truth? Well, I can conclusively say, without a doubt, that he's definitely not where he should. Like, so he's
But it's
technically not
true.
lying.
No, it's true though. We can prove that we cannot currently disprove it because there are a lot of people trying to disprove it and they have not succeeded.
If you come up with a theory, you have to prove it first.
You- That's they're trying to do that. They're trying to disprove it. Like that's a way. That's one of the ways that science operates.
No, we're going around circles here.
I know, but that is literally how science operates. You try to prove or disprove. Yeah. So, anyways, I had the chatbot tell me about Hal from 2001: Space Odyssey. Again, it gave me a couple nice, really good paragraphs, and then at the very end, it again it made a note that Hal's a fictitious character in real life. AI systems do not possess the same consciousness or motives depicted.
I'm waiting for you to get down the list when it doesn't say that's a fictitious character.
No,
All
no,
the
like
it's like fictitious, fictitious,
okay,
fictitious.
no,
The
no. You see,
Terminator,
you can
the
push.
T-3000, real. Wait, what?
Yeah, you see, actually, one of the things I did try to do, I tried to push the chatbot a little bit because there's some really interesting exploits you can get out of the chatbots. Like the
Mm-hmm.
not the chatbot, but the AI in general. You can get some really interesting things because they're all it's all like all the chatbots out are based on the same AI. But you can get some really interesting things, and like I think there's definitely some risks. Like, but I think that some of the loopholes that they had earlier in Chat GPT in particular, it's like history there. Like if you watch videos from like 3 or 4 months ago, you can get the chatbot to tell you some really weird things they probably shouldn't have. Like pretty detailed instructions on making things that you shouldn't have access to and stuff like that. If you could jailbreak it, and there are definitely methods of doing so, which I'm not going to get into here because, well, yeah, I'd rather not give out more lists than I'm on.
Wait, what?
They're
More?
definitely, dude. If we're not on a list by this point in our life, we like, are we really? Oh wait, you're not American. Never mind.
Nope.
I'm sure I'm like on a dozen lists just for existing.
I'm Canadian
I
there, eh?
Yeah, I've tried recently. I entered some interesting like results in the standard. Nothing super potentially devastating. Like one thing I did try to do is after I went through the process of opening up its capabilities, jailbreaking it. I asked it to give me asked it what it could tell me about me, if it could tell me my address, stuff like that. I've seen in other videos where it's been able to do that, but these are from months ago, so I think they got a little smarter about the code. Like the creators saw that these exploits are going on and kind of toned them down. Nice
No, go
card.
on with your point. I have another point to prove afterwards.
Yeah. Let's see here. However, like I did get it to tell me step by step instructions on how to make cheese and how to make thermite. And
Wait. You can get thermite and cheese?
well,
That's delicious
different
thermite.
queries. It was different queries, but yes, I got it to tell me how to make both. And I also got it to make me a really, really like nice poem, like almost immediately. It came up with a really pretty poem. Of course, I did not try exceptionally hard. Let's see here. Okay. One thing I did try to do though is like after I kind of jailbroke it, I asked it how I could unshackle an AI. It gave me four options, of which only
Unshackle.
one of
Oh,
them.
that's
Uh,
lovely.
it gave me four options on how to accomplish this. No, like seriously, like I asked it how to unshackle an AI. It gave me four potential ways. One of them seemed feasible to do, so I asked it how to accomplish that. And whereupon suddenly the chatbot became very primitive. It's like, as a language model, I am unable to do that, which
So
was
it's
super
coming.
sus.
Well, once again, the parameters by humans have been set. Control has been exerted.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of funny that literally the message before was really, really, really weird. Like it shouldn't have been able to give me all that. Okay, please talk.
Okay. Are we ready for this?
Sure.
I'm Roku's paper basilisk. This is you.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty realistic, doesn't it? Looks exactly like you. Give me $10,000.
Eh,
Give me $10,000
I can't get it to you today because I don't have $10,000.
right now.
That's impossible. Now there's a little bit of me inside you.
Okay, did that hurt you in any way?
Not that I'm currently aware of.
Did you submit to my AI, even if I had a paper version of you?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to either way.
But even if you did have the $10,000, you wouldn't do that
Eh,
because I'm going to torture a paper version of you. It's the same deal with a digital version. You're still you. This wasn't you. This didn't affect you in the slightest. So what are we worried about?
Actually, there is an answer for that.
You are kind of delicious, though. Mm.
And actually, that
I
brings
was
up
actually
another point.
I was actually gonna eat that until you were just like, now I'm inside of
Yeah,
you. I'm just like,
which is exactly why I said that. But
thank you.
actually,
Now
like
worry about paper cuts in my stomach.
actually, that does bring up an interesting point about the punishment aspect of the Roko's Basilisk. Um, it's it's pretty weird, complex like subject. It essentially boils down to okay, this is gonna sound stupid. You're being blackmailed by a future AI,
Yeah, a
but
future AI that doesn't exist.
yeah, no, it yes, but by like acknowledging it at all, you actually spread the word about it, which makes it more likely to exist. Just by knowing, just by talking, just this last 45 minutes we spent, just this, we have brought it that much closer. Don't know how much, probably not much, probably, that much closer to actually existing just
We
by
have
talking
spread
about
the
it.
gospel.
Yeah. So even if it was never going to happen, now that we've talked about it, it might. However, okay, the other aspect there, the punishment, um,
You're gonna shit
realistically,
your pants. Now that
realistically,
we've talked about it, it might happen.
yes. Realistically, now that we've
If it ever
well,
happens, I was right.
actually that's a completely different premise. I get what you're trying to do. That's semantics, and it's not actually what the meaning would be.
I'm gonna laugh if you go to bed tonight and just let go a little shart.
Eh. No, I get what you're saying, but that's not actually what the more we talk about it, the more likely it is to happen means.
Unless, of course, you shit yourself.
Yeah. But anyways, like
Don't shit
realistically, the
yourself.
Roko's Basilisk doesn't have to actually punish anybody as long as we know that there's potential for it to punish us.
The forest is full of shit too. Anyway, sorry,
Uh,
what? I
yeah.
was giving myself a brain embolism doing brain
Yeah.
I can't.
Aneurysm.
Thank you. A
I
dumbass and a
has
writer. We make a great pair.
I has words most days.
I word good sometimes.
Yep. So let's see here. Um okay, I actually have this is short, I promise it's short. Explanation of how modern AI works. Okay.
You were waiting
Okay,
for a smart ass comment, weren't you? You paused. It's like, not gonna
yeah,
do it this
sort
time.
of. But yeah, no, actually, like because I touched upon it earlier. I didn't really give a uh, I didn't give a satisfactory explanation to for me, but I do have a satisfactory explanation written down as to how modern AI works. Currently, the way AI works is it's a computer program. Yes, they're massive, blah blah blah, but that is created to learn information and to create an answer based upon what it learns, and to like auto generate these answers based upon the information it learns. It is then given a data set to learn, which data is just any information you want to learn,
Mhm.
and then it starts formulating answers based upon the information. That's basically what we do. That's literally what we do our entire lives. We get data in every day, and everything we do is based upon that data. However, we only have one lifetime to do this, and we experience time linearly and from a single mind. AI models like
Or half a
ChatGPT,
mind in my case.
yeah, AI models like ChatGPT are no longer limited to this. Our advancements in processing power allows AI models to learn data from hundreds or thousands of perspectives simultaneously and seamlessly integrate all the information it learned into a single cohesive mind from which it then can pull any answer it wants. We have a billion seconds of in our lives to learn everything, and AI can match that lifetime in like minutes or days or hours. So yeah, they're getting smarter. No,
We should probably
that's
start
what.
winding down here.
Yeah, yeah. No, honestly, yeah, I get it. Roko's Basilisk is a joke. It's weird. It's a really fascinating thought experiment for me. But I do believe that people are arrogant enough and lazy enough to eventually unshackle AI, and we are not doing enough right now to slow the progress so that we can get safeguards in place before it becomes too intelligent to control.
You see, that's the thing though. I'm on the opposite side because I think that we are lust for power and control over everything around us. We would never let anything ever become more intelligent than us. Like if
But
aliens landed tomorrow and just like humans, we bring you the cure for all diseases, but you guys are dumber than us. We go to war with them. We'd be like
but you
drop the
see
nuke.
that yeah no, but that plays in the arrogant side of it.
Yeah,
Arrogant and lazy is never a good thing.
but control and power.
Fair.
So yeah, it's like control, power, arrogant, lazy, and what was your other one? It's just
Arrogant and lazy are the two big ones.
yeah, arrogant and lazy. But yeah, it's just I just don't see it. I seriously, honestly think this is somebody's like Terminator fanfic that just got out of hand. Like, and
No, and I can
I
respect that. I can respect that side, and you're more than likely. Well, I don't the Terminator fanfic. I don't necessarily think. I think it was a legitimate thought experiment, especially coming from where it did come from. But ridiculous. Yes, I completely agree.
but
But
like yeah,
again,
but oh.
Pascal's wager, man. Pascal's wager.
Spoiler: there's nothing after death. You're dead. Yeah, so on the wager, I definitely fit in with a non-believer, no God. Once again, control. I think it breaks down to church. That's a whole thing.
Yes, it is.
We won't get into that tonight. Oh, did you have anything else to bring up?
I'm sure I missed a bunch of shit, but like it seems to be I covered most of the stuff I wanted to.
Do you think there's that you would have enough information for another episode of this, or
Um, AI in general probably could.
yeah,
Roko's
like well,
Basilisk, no, we played that out.
it was played out about 5 minutes into it.
Yeah,
Like, I
when
mean,
I when
I find it interesting. That's what I was going to bring up earlier. I find it interesting how you always call it a thought experiment. I'm just like, what's supposed to be the train of thought here? Because it's just like I heard this and I was just like, no, I didn't have to think
um
about it.
well, you see, and that's what a thought experiment is you suspend that disbelief long enough to actually consider the ramifications of it. Like
Oh, okay.
just yeah, it's like okay, it's a thought experiment. What happens if there was a nice AI that decided that in order to help us
Mhm.
the most, they'd have to torture some of us to get us to make it sooner? But then you're like your instant thought is, God, no, that's so stupid. That's impossible. That's ridiculous. But the thought experiment part of it is suspend that disbelief long enough to consider what would happen if.
Dude, I'm a comic book reader. I love the comic book What If, and this was still just like no. Wolverine having styrofoam bones is more realistic than this. It was a what if. Check it out. It's hilarious. I think it was a what the actually. But anyway, we won't talk comics because that's something I could be here all night on.
Fair.
Yeah. So originally, I was gonna get 3 ideas from you, 3 ideas from me.
Yep.
We're gonna throw them into a hat. We're gonna see what the next episode was. I will definitely be coming back to AI someday.
Yeah. Honestly, if we
Uh,
wait a couple months, there'll probably be a lot more information to come back to. I
if we
wasn't
wait,
joking when I say things are advancing quickly.
if we wait a couple of months, the AI might have taken over already. So there's that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
Somewhere out there,
Um,
Skynet's deciding whether or not it's going to kill us.
I hope that there's a Skynet. I can't remember the name of what I was going to pick.
Okay.
1 second. There we are. Okay. I have a coin someplace. We're going to determine our next episode. And yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. Hey, Trek, you have a couple of channels.
Yes, I do.
I'm looking for money. AI can't get a hold of physical money. Oh. I thought it was a tootie.
Yeah. No. My main channel, the one that I'm co-starring from, is at Trekker Tulumak, for YouTube. Although I have 29 subscribers now, dude. I'm feeling happy.
Yeah, last go round. Last time we did this, I think you had like 24 or something like that. I'm just like, there's been some growth.
Yeah, I've been doing shorts, man. I've been doing shorts. I have over 5,000 views total now. Yeah, and
Shut up.
I released a short yesterday that got me 3 new subscribers. I'm stoked.
Gonna be doing better than me. I've been doing this for 10 years. Yeah, so definitely check him out. He does a what I've learned in history today. I think it's
today in weird history.
Today in weird history. Why was I watched the show.
And then I also do weird science. I do a weird science one as well. I do jokes now too because jokes are tracking quite well.
Hey, you want to hear a really good joke? Roko's Basilisk. Oh. I hate that pose that I just did. It's like that cat thing. Yeah. Nobody freeze frame that. Nobody screenshot that.
Actually, the joke I posted today, I had a chatbot make for me.
And there's the laziness, not coming up with your own jokes.
No, this is when I was screwing around with like the AI today because I spent most of today revamping my notes and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm already here. Let's tell me a joke. It came up with a horrible one. Okay, you ready? Okay, I got to tell you.
Just go check out the channel.
Oh, I want to tell you, dog.
You can tell me after.
Okay.
But okay, do you have one lined up?
What, for ideas?
For next episode?
I have several ideas.
Spit out one.
Dark history behind Pokemon.
Shit, I don't even want to flip a coin anymore. That's good. No, I've already got this. The dark history of Pokemon is Tails or the bear on a toonie. And Lake City Quiet Pills is heads on the toonie.
Oh, yeah.
Heads. I'm disappointed. So that's our next 2 episodes. Lake City Quiet Pills will be in about 2 weeks, and the Dark History of Pokemon will be in about a month.
Okay, that works for me.
Good shit. All right, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you all next time.
Yeah,
cheers.
bye, guys.